All right, we're going to learn how to solve linear equations, adding and subtracting. Okay, so we're going to solve these 4 questions by isolating the variable. Okay, so our answers are always going to be a letter equals a number. Okay, the letter always has to be by itself. So it could be like 2 equals a or x equals 2. And it doesn't really matter what side the letter is on. Okay, the letter could be on the right side or the left side of the equation. All right, so the first thing we're going to do when we do these questions is draw a dotted line where the equal sign is. All right, so for question 1a, I have 4 equals 7 plus a. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw a dotted line where the equal sign is. I'm going to draw it as long as I need it to be. All right, now what I want to do is to get all the numbers on one side of the dotted line and all my letters on the other side of the dotted line. All right, so for math, when you see a letter, it's called a variable. Okay, so I want the variables on one side and letters on the other side. So in this question, I have a 4 on the left side of the dotted line, and on the right side, I have a 7 and an a. So what I want to do with this question is take this 7 and I'm going to bring it to the other side of this equation sign. All right, now when I do that, the number changes operations. Okay, so you're always going to write down what's there first. So I have a 4 on this side, so I'm going to write the 4 first. And when I bring this 7 over to the other side, now if there's nothing in front of a number, it's a positive. So right now it's a positive 7. But when I bring it over, it's going to become a negative 7. Okay, I'm going to write the equal sign. The equal sign should always go where the dotted line is. Don't just write equals wherever you want. It should always go where the dotted line is. That's also why you write the dotted line. And on the right side, I'm going to have this plus a. All right, if you want to write the plus, you can. If you don't want to, it's assumed that if there's nothing in front of it, it's a positive. All right, from here, once my numbers and letters are on either sides, I'm going to subtract 4 from 7, which gives me negative 3. And I'm going to be left with a on the right side. Okay, and that is my final answer. I have a number equals a letter. All right, sorry about that interruption, but hopefully you heard my voice over the PA. All right, so let's try question B. Step 1 is to draw a dotted line where the equal sign is. Step 2, I'm going to get my variables on one side, which is letters, and my numbers on the other. So in this question, my variable is on the left side, so I'm going to keep it there on the left side, which means I got to bring this 10 to the other side, all right? You're always going to circle what's in front of the number. In this case, there's an imaginary plus sign here in front of this 10. Okay, it's not there, but if there was an imaginary, it would be a positive number. And I'm going to bring this over to this side of the equation. And when I do that, it becomes a negative 10. Okay, so on the left side, I have a P. On the right side, I had the 4 that's originally there. I'm going to bring this positive 10 over. And when I bring it over, it comes a negative 10. And then I'm just going to do the subtraction. 4 minus 10 is negative 6. All right, so please calculate these properly. Sometimes with minuses and negatives, people kind of get them mixed up. But 4 minus 10 is negative 6. Okay, let's try 2 more examples. Okay, you're going to notice that those 2 examples were adding. It was like a plus 7 for A and a plus 10 for B. These 2 questions down here, they're going to be negative numbers. Okay, so again, draw my dotted line. I'm going to circle the number. In this case, it's minus 8. Okay, in math, negatives and minuses and subtraction, they all kind of mean the same thing. They're interchangeable. I'm going to bring this -8 to the right side. I'm left with m on this side. On the right side, I had a -4. And then I'm bringing over the -8, but when I bring it over, it becomes a +8. So it's going to be +8. And then I'm just going to type in my calculator -4 plus 8, which is going to equal +4. And that is my final answer for this question. You're going to notice that I have a letter by itself equals a number, which is what I want. All right. It doesn't matter if the letter is on the left side. It could also be on the right side, like question 1A. All right. Here's one more example. I'm going to draw a dotted line where the equal sign is. I want to bring this -12 to the other side. Notice I'm always circling what's in front of the number, not what's behind the number. Okay, always circle the number in the operation in front of the number. I'm going to be left with n on this side. I had 5 on this side. When I bring this -12 over, it becomes a +12. From here, I just calculate 5 plus 12, which is +17. So I'm just going to write 17. And that is my final answer. Okay, again, sorry for that interruption. The PA just went off.